November's got a lot of energy attached to it, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's heavy. That's right, you heard it here. On November 4th, Mars enters Sagittarius. On the 5th, we're having a full moon happening at 13 degrees Taurus. On November 6th, Venus enters Scorpio. On November 7th, Uranus retrograde enters back into Taurus. On the 9th, Mercury retrograde happens at 6 degrees Sagittarius. I had to move locations. On November 11th, Jupiter retrogrades at 25 degrees Cancer, and on November 18th, Mercury retrograde enters back into Scorpio. On November 20th, we're having a new moon happening at 28 degrees Scorpio. On November 21st, the Sun enters Sagittarius. November 27th, Saturn goes direct at 25 degrees Pisces. On November 29th, Mercury goes direct at 20 degrees Scorpio. And on the 30th, Venus enters Sagittarius. It's a lot, I told you. Not to worry, this is the view that we're working with today. If you have any questions as to how this is going to pertain to your personal chart, I recommend downloading Astra. You can ask it any question pertaining to love, career, and finance, and you can also get an astrological report. You can even ask the AI any specific question pertaining to your November. Like, for instance, are you going to get money? Are you going to get love? Are you going to get all of it? Or are you going to get none of it? It's free to download in the App Store, easy to use, and it's simple. It answers your questions. Alright, this has been fun. I'm going home now. For Leo, the majority of the transits are happening between your 4th house of home, family, processing, your emotional well-being, listening to your intuition, as well as learning your authenticity through your foundational core, and your 5th house of authentic expression, building up your confidence, putting yourself out there, shining your light, and not doing it because of other people's projection, baby. Love, children, and romance will also play a role here too. Authenticity is the key theme here. How you choose to express it, that's up to you. It is important that during November we're not being too impulsive with matters of creativity and expression. This can lead to setbacks, obstacles, delays too. Of course, we may need to reflect on how we're showing up for ourselves or perhaps within our own confidence. But of course, the value is there. Another important house to pay attention to will be your 10th house of career status, legacy, and life's work, with the full moon and Uranus retrograding back in. Sudden disruptions within career can lead to greater awakenings in the long term, and the full moon is illuminating where sudden changes need to take place in order for you to feel more fulfilled within your career. Now, it is important throughout the month of November to let your intuition serve as a guidance to see which direction in your career will be most beneficial for you. It's also important to take action towards what feels right. Now, November can also be a spiritual month for you guys since Jupiter's going retrograde in your 12th house and Saturn's going direct in your 8th. Be sure to let go of anything that no longer serves you in your current self and confront any fears with intimacy, vulnerability, and commitment. This is also a great transit for setting up energetic boundaries. That way you don't take on other people's energy that is not yours, and that way you can discern which energy is for you and which energy is not for you. Overall, in the month of November, your personal life is taking center stage. For Virgo, the majority of the transits are taking place between your 3rd house of communication, skill development, siblings, cousins, your immediate environment, the mind mentality, sharing information, opinions, and thoughts with others, and your 4th house of home, family, processing your emotional well-being, listening to your intuition, as well as learning your authenticity through your foundational core. November is essentially a balance act between how you think and how you feel, or potentially what you think and what you feel. It is important to not run away from your emotions, but rather face them head on. But it's also important to find the value within your thoughts, your ideas, and your mind. Other people will be doing so during November. It's important that you do too. Now, another area that will be important for you in the month of November will be your 9th house of belief, philosophy, creating the life that you want for yourself, finding the meaning of life, higher education and knowledge, travel, luck, opportunity, and spiritual practice. Essentially, the full moon will illuminate where you're in alignment with your manifestations. It'll also illuminate any changes that need to be made in order to keep in alignment too. And don't be afraid to express your unconventional beliefs during this time with Uranus in your 9th. Sudden disruptions within beliefs can actually lead to greater awakenings. This is also not the time to be too dogmatic within your beliefs either. Gotta open up, gotta expand. Now, during the month of November, it's highly likely that you'll be learning a lesson in regards to friendships, groups, network circles, or even the execution of future endeavors with Jupiter going retrograde in your 11th. Now, this will tie into the lessons that you're learning about other people with Saturn going direct in your 7th. But it will be very important to watch who's for you and who's not for you during this season. Of course, we want to take off those rose-colored glasses and keep that veil lifted. But you're going to learn who's actually a friend and who's just trying to ride the coattails of your success. Overall, what you think and what you feel serve as the catalyst towards your manifestations. For Libra, the majority of the transits are taking place within your 2nd house of worth and value, establishing the 2, material security as well as giving back to yourself through self-replenishment, and your 3rd house of communication, skill development, siblings, cousins, your immediate environment, the mind mentality, sharing information, opinions, and thoughts with others. During the month of November, you can expect to be more direct with communication, but it is really important to pay attention to your ideas as well. Perhaps you're going to be reflecting and introspecting on your thought patterns and your ideas, but this is also a great month for figuring out who in your life is giving equal give and take. The last thing we want to do is devalue ourselves by giving our energy, time, and space to people that are not reciprocating the energy back to us. Gotta give that the chop so you don't flop. Now, another major focus of November will be your 8th house of deep healing, transformation, going below the surface, examining the darker aspects of life as well as making peace with your past. With the full moon and Uranus retrograding back into your 8th house, there will be an illumination of any emotions that you need to let go of. Also, sudden transformative changes could be happening in order for you to empower yourself. Of course, this does require letting go. If Elsa can do it, you can do it too. Essentially, this can lead to you better understanding your worth and value. Lastly, major reflection and introspection will take place within your career status, legacy, and life's work as Jupiter retrogrades in your 10th house. And as Saturn goes direct in your 6th house, ask yourself where you've been overworking yourself. Definitely pay attention to your health and watch for doom scrolling that can affect mental health as well. Be sure that you're being of service to yourself, filling up your own cup and not filling up somebody else's cup to your detriment. Because whatever you're doing within your day-to-day is going to have an impact within your career, status, legacy, and life's work. Remember, Jupiter's still trining Saturn. Overall, your worth and value as well as your thoughts and your mind can be the catalyst towards empowerment for you. For Scorpio, the majority of the transits are happening between your 1st house of self-identity, independence, and taking action after your life's direction, and your 2nd house of worth and value, establishing the 2 material security as well as giving back to yourself through self-replenishment. Throughout the month of November, spotlight's on you. November can bring about new cycles for you as well as a glow-up energy. November is also asking you to align your intuition and your emotional well-being with your life's direction. Also, do watch for impulsive spending throughout the month of November with Mars being in your 2nd house. But nevertheless, you'll have the skills needed to create multiple sources of income for yourself throughout this month. Now, November will also bring focus to your 7th house of relationships, partnerships, interpersonal connection, business contracts, marriage and union sold separately. Results may vary. Call now. Sudden changes can happen to the connections that are in your life. Perhaps people could be leaving or people could be coming in. If people are coming in, I recommend friendship first. Get to know them for minimal 3 months. If you like them, keep them around an extra month. If not, give them a chop so you don't flop. But definitely let your intuition serve as a guidance to see who's for you and who's not for you. Last but not least, this could be a favorable time for you as Jupiter's going retrograde in your 9th house. The blessings can finally start coming in. Saturn's going direct in your 5th. You have to take back control over your own authentic expression as well as your confidence. No giving into the projection from other people. Maybe they should shine brighter. Look. Overall, you're learning a lot about yourself and your worth and value throughout the month of November. This leads to a better prioritization of the relationship that you have with other people and the relationship that you have with yourself. For all the signs, be sure to pay attention to any personal placements as well as aspects being made. Other signs are in the other videos.